you are intelligent but not disciplined, try Ulysses Rule. Take a smart decision in the present to force yourself to act in a certain way in the future. You need to create a system that's foolproof, a system that not even you can break. Ulysses, in one of his adventures, had to go through the Mermaid's Reef. The reef was full of wrecked ships and corpses, because none of the sailors and ships that tried to cross it survived. The reason being that the mermaids with their song made you hallucinate, and you saw the very one thing that you most desired. So you ended up crashing your boat and being eaten by the mermaids. Ulysses was a smart man, and he knew that he couldn't trust his willpower. He looked at the reef and thought, I don't have more willpower than those men. But because he wanted to hear the mermaids sing, he ordered his people to cover their ears with wax and asked them to tie him with ropes to the mast. And he told them, I'm as weak as all the men who died there, so when I hear the mermaids sing, I won't be able to resist and probably ask you to untie me. But no matter how much I insist, don't untie me. So they started sailing through the reef. But before telling you the outcome, I think it's important to discuss how you could apply this principle to your life. The first step is leaving your ego aside and admitting that you lack the discipline and willpower. Then you need to find a way to force yourself into being disciplined. For example, the French writer Victor Hugo, who was rich and famous, struggled to find the discipline and willpower to write. So the way he forced himself into being disciplined was by locking himself in a room with only pen and paper, and then taking his clothes off and asking a servant to take them away from the room he was in for the next 4 hours. That way he couldn't leave his room due to being naked, and the only thing he could do was writing. Ulysses Rule is all about creating a system that you cannot break, even if you wanted to. Instead of trying to resist a temptation, you use your intelligence beforehand to completely remove that temptation. Some people use this gadget where you can lock your phone for a certain amount of time and it won't let you use it until the timer's up. This is a great way to use Ulysses Rule, but I prefer to do something simpler and more straightforward. What I do is I let my phone's battery die, so even if I get the temptation to use it, there is no way for me to use the phone other than charging it and waiting for a while. This is what 95% of people don't understand, and it's what Andrew means when he says
you need to put systems in place, you need to get disciplined.
You need to put systems in place that will hold you disciplined, even if all of your willpower is gone because you fucked up your brain by endlessly scrolling through TikTok and watching porn. So this is an action step right here. I want you to first admit that your brain is fucked and that you don't have any willpower. Now, I want you to get a piece of paper and write down all the bad habits that you want to quit and that are keeping you from being disciplined. I'm being serious. Get a piece of paper or maybe open a Google Doc or the notes on your phone, but I want you to write this down. And just so you know, watching TikTok, watching porn, jerking off and playing video games should definitely be in that list. Lastly, for each one of those things that you wrote in the list because you want to quit, you need to find a way to apply Ulysses Rule to force yourself to become disciplined. This is off script, but please get a piece of paper and write this down. It'll literally take you 2 minutes and it can change your life. Please. Now, finishing the story, when Ulysses went through the reef, the mermaid started to sing, and as he predicted, he was mesmerized and he asked his crew to untie him. But because he took the right measures beforehand, he became the only man alive that heard the mermaid sing and still survived. If you reached this part of the video, congratulations, you have a longer attention span than 90% of men. I really hope you found this video valuable. Good luck!